If, like me, you like to spend as little as possible on things that look as expensive as possible, then keep watching, because in this video I'm going to show you 10 watches that look very, very premium because of their dials, but they all cost less than $200 and they're all available to buy today. So yeah, make sure you stick around. Enjoy. In at number 10 is this Sestrian with a champagne sunburst dial. Nothing too fancy about champagne sunburst dials, but there's actually a lot more that goes into creating a champagne sunburst dial than any other colour, which is why you don't tend to see them on affordable watches. Now, I haven't seen this Master Series version 2. I did see the version 1 and the dial on that was really, really nice. The colour perhaps not as rich as you're going to find on dials on Grand Seiko watches, for example, but if you love champagne sunburst dials and you are on a budget, well then this watch shows that they are within your grasp. In at number 9 is one of my favourite Proxima watches. It is a Seiko Superior homage. A bit of texture on this dial and some huge applied indices. If you want the genuine thing by Seiko, well, those watches are 40 to 50 years old and they're going to set you back a pretty penny, especially if you want one in decent condition. So this Proxima gives you the opportunity to experience that vintage dial on a far more affordable watch. And yeah, I think they executed it fantastically well. Love it. Love this dial. Right, I'm going to take a quick break to ask a favour. You know what's coming. If you haven't done so already, I would love for you to hit that subscribe button and the bell notifications icon. I upload lots of videos every week, and if you enjoy them, I hope you reward me with a subscribe. Cheers, guys. If you do, I really do appreciate it. Thank you. Now, at number 8, I've put this Boltony. It has a sort of scratched linen dial, which may not look too exciting, but I love it. I reviewed this watch and I just thought this dial was very simple, but executed very, very nicely. It's a bright sort of silvery colour. Okay, legibility perhaps not the greatest. Silver numbers on this silver dial with silver hands. But sometimes, I must admit, I put looks over legibility when it comes to my watches. And this is one of those watches. A simple dial, but still a stunning dial. At number 7, I've selected this Parnis. Again, a very simple dial, but the colour on this dial is incredible. It's another sunburst dial, but I think it's quite rare to see coffee coloured sunburst dials with rose gold accents. And yeah, it is just a gorgeous watch. I've owned this watch for quite a while now. My wife has actually poached this one off me. She wears it very, very regularly. So yeah, may not be an obvious choice, but when I first got this watch, I couldn't take my eyes off this thing. Just gorgeous. Sometimes less is more, and this is one of those dials, I think. At number 6, I've selected this Cadison Galaxy series, and they're calling this dial an enamel gravel dial. And I've mentioned in videos before that enamel dials are a little bit more complicated to make than your typical dials. And this one, well, I think it looks incredible. Such a sparkly dial. It looks like an aventurine dial. It doesn't say anything in the listing about it being an aventurine dial, so it looks like they're achieving a similar sort of look, but perhaps on a budget. But yeah, it still looks really, really good. I've actually put another Boltony in at number 5, and I have reviewed the more expensive version of this watch containing the Miyota 9000 series movement. But they've used an almost identical dial on this more affordable version, and it looks very much like a sort of diamond dust dial when you zoom in. So glittery, so shiny, really, really sparkly. And as you'd expect from Boltony, executed very, very nicely. I don't think I've ever had any quality control issues from their watches, and they finish it off nicely with a blued seconds hand as well. So yeah, I think this one is just too nice to leave out. It was the one thing that really stood out to me about this watch when I first saw it. Stunning, absolutely gorgeous. Now, sneaking into the top half of the table is a Tandorio, and we're all familiar with the value for money that Tandorio watches offer. You do need to be mindful of their water resistance capabilities, though. I always like to mention that when I talk about their watches, because I've tested a couple of their watches inside of Herman. My water pressure tester, well, I've tested 5 actually. 3 have passed, 2 have failed. But still, if you get a good one, the value for money is definitely there, and they're offering mother of pearl dialed divers for less than $80 US, a couple of color options. You've got a sort of lighter, whiter mother of pearl dial, and then a more sort of traditional bluey purpley one. And I think this has to be the cheapest dive style watch I've ever seen with a mother of pearl dial. Right, we're now into the top 3, and I've got to include those monster homages by companies like Heimdallr and again Tandorio. And there's a couple of different versions as well. You've got the sort of fading dial version with the sharper sort of pointier teeth. But then you have the more recent version 2 examples with the less sharp teeth. They're more sort of rectangular, but the dials, frosted dials, sort of snowflake dials, really, really interesting dials. And understandably, these watches have proven to be incredibly popular, partly because of their prices, partly because they are Seiko homages, but I think primarily because they're just so cool, the dials. They look great. I really do think these look fantastic. Right, in at number 2, this might surprise you, is a Timex, the Falcon Eye green dial. I gave Timex watches a hard time recently in a video, but I did say in that video that I thought this watch was one of the best looking Timex watches I'd ever seen, and well, considering its price and how gorgeous that green dial is, I think it is one of the best value for money, gorgeous dialed watches, if you like, available at the moment. I love the look of this watch. Obviously, it's fairly vintage inspired, and I do like my vintage Seikos and Casios, so vintage inspired watches like this always get my tingles going. But yeah, the colour of this dial, there's applied indices. Oh, it's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. It definitely does not look like a cheap, affordable watch. Now for me, in this sub $200 price bracket, there can only be one winner, and it's these Addies dive watches with these sort of sand dune dials, and I don't know what you'd call this one, ocean bottom dials. They're very, very similar, so I've just lumped them together. I have reviewed the sand dune dial version. They're available in quartz and automatic, and I just love these dials. Absolutely love them. So different, so unusual. These watches do not look like sub $100 watches, and for me it's all down to the dials. Love them, love them, love them. Yeah, I can't say enough good things about these dials. Right guys, I will do another sort of top 10 for watches costing perhaps between $200 and $500, because there are a lot of watches in that price bracket with even nicer dials. And I want to share with you my top 10. So yeah, make sure you subscribe, hit that bell notifications icon so you don't miss out on that video when it goes live. Right guys, as always, a massive thank you from me to you for tuning in. And please do let me know if you know of any other watches costing less than $200 that have equally beautiful dials as the watches that I've shown you in today's video. Cheers guys.